White going that way. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Dragon's Lair for today's game featuring the visiting Mercer County Vikings and your Howard Dragons. Before kickoff, we would like to celebrate our sophomore class of 2023. Our first sophomore couldn't be here today. Sophomore goalkeeper from Laurel, Maryland, number 29, Jesse Sanchez. Our next sophomore is a midfielder from Odenton, Maryland, number 6, Diego Ruiz. Our next sophomore, a midfielder from Beltsville, Maryland, number 8, Bubakar Sissoko.
This is where we used to come play.
Oh, okay.
And it was just like,
Our next sophomore from right here in Columbia, Maryland, a forward, number 9, Jason Fuentes.
Jersey, yeah.
Our final sophomore, a goalkeeper out of Laurel, Maryland, number 28, Danny Ventura. Can we get a picture of all the sophomores? Once again, thank you to the class of 2023 sophomores. And now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
What happened after that? Bro, I was crying, bro. I had like
Mercer County Vikings. Sophomore number 2, Naoa Obata. Freshman number 3, Diego Ortiz. Sophomore number 4, Dylan Detroit. Freshman number 6, Max Furr. Sophomore number 7, Omalemu Matla. Sophomore number 8, Felipe Nazario. Freshman number 9, Francesco Quintavaya. Sophomore number 10, Hide Yamaguchi. Freshman number 14, Alu Gambay. Freshman number 17, Lissetti Ramosa Alavi. And in goal, number 0, Federico Gainada. The Vikings are coached by Weinmark Dalci, assisted by Matthias Martin, John Bachowski, and Kamal Alatredi. Starters for your Howard Dragons. Freshman number 2, Hosseini Diallo. Freshman number 3, Sophomore number 6, Diego Ruiz. Freshman number 7, Truce Norton. Sophomore number 8, Boubacar Sissoko. Sophomore number 9, Jason Fuentes. Freshman number 15, Chris Herzog. Freshman number 18, Jefferson Estrada. Freshman number 24, Kai Onabai. Freshman number 25, Mateo Moore. And in goal for the Dragons, sophomore number 28, Danny Ventura. The Dragons are coached by Stefan Dragunov, assisted by Didi Abu. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the campus of Howard Community College in Columbia, Maryland, as the Dragons celebrating their sophomore day for the men's soccer team and the 5-man class of the class of 2023, including starting goalkeeper Danny Ventura, who gets another start after a great 6-1 win for Howard yesterday against the Northern Virginia Nighthawks. And arguably their most important victory of the season, and coming in with some positive feelings. Ventura comes to the game with a 2-1 record. He's got a 1.93 goals allowed average and a 68 save percentage on the season, as he has been in that timeshare with fellow sophomore Jesse Sanchez. We are underway. Howard in their home white uniforms and black shorts going from left to right on your screen in this first half. And the Mercer County Vikings of New Jersey in their green uniforms, the yellow trim, they go from right to left in this first half. Ventura joined by fellow sophomores Diego Ruiz, Boubacar Sissoko, and Jason Fuentes. As I mentioned, Jesse Sanchez, also a sophomore, is not here today, unfortunately, was unable to due to sickness, but certainly was celebrated nonetheless in the pregame ceremonies. For Mercer County, as they are able to just barely get that one away from their own box. This played into the box. Diallo, he is going to be offsides on the play. Good start for the Dragons. The Vikings come in with a 6-5-2 record. They've won the last 2 straight, a 1-0 win over Essex County and a 3-1 win over Lackawanna. Have won 3 of the last 4 and 5 of the last 7, as they have been playing their best soccer of the year of late. Their lone loss during that stretch is against nationally ranked D1 team Monroe College. Also have a 2-1 win over Carroll, 1-1 tie over Hartford. Seeing some familiar Region 20 opponents on that list. In goal for the Vikings, it is going to be Federico Gainati. He has started in 10 games, has a 4-4-1 record with a couple of shutouts, a 1.58 goals allowed average, 73% save percentage. And a looming presence there as Some good height there in his orange goalkeeper uniform. Dragons dealing with a few injuries themselves, particularly at the center back position, having to shuffle things around to make it work. It will be Jefferson Estrada and Kyle Simmons who will fill in at the center back spots today, as that ball will go out of bounds for Howard throw-in. Kai Onabayi will take over at right back, with Chris Herzog continuing to lock down that left back spot. Looks like Howard has gone for more of a 4-1-3-2 formation, with Ruiz playing as the holding midfielder. Simmons with a strong play. Ruiz goes sliding through, and oh no, he looks like he may have gotten injured on the play. Play will continue as the Vikings have a fast break, shot, and goal. And the Vikings take the early lead. It will be number 17, Liseti Labila, as he puts it in. Vikings goal scored by number 17, Liseti Ramosa. Good news for the Dragons is that Ruiz appears to be able to walk off his injury and will continue. Bad news is the Dragons find themselves down 1-0 3 minutes into this contest. Certainly not a reason for the Dragons to feel out of it, however. Just 24 hours ago, they gave up for a goal almost exactly to the minute, a 3-minute goal to Northern Virginia. Howard would go on to score the next 6 goals and winning 6-1 over Northern Virginia in a huge Region 20 win that vaulted them up 3 spots in the standings. And the deflection will go off of Howard. It will be a Vikings throw-in. For Ramosa, his 4th goal of the season, 11 points on the year. Brings him into the double-digit points club, along with leading goal scorer number 11, Teddy Nkamanyai, who is not in the starting lineup today. Not sure if that's due to injury or if he is just on the bench right now. We will certainly see later, but certainly strange to see a player with 9 goals in 8 games not in the starting lineup. Sissoko crosses it in. Moore gets to it. Gets a touch on it, and it's going to be out for a goal kick, but a good job by Moore to attack the cross. Sissoko put in a beauty. Boubacar Sissoko had missed a couple games himself due to injury. Certainly a great sign for Howard to see him back in the lineup, as he will prance across the midfield to get into the play. Good tackle by Moore. He picks the ball up cleanly. Does a little juke move, and now he's got some space. 1-2 move with Diallo, but Diallo puts it right into the path of the defensive player, Diego Escapita. And that is out for a Mercer County throw-in. Pushed by Ruiz in the back, and the Dragons will retreat to their own half. Mercer County in 13 games, averaging about 2.5 goals per game. They had started the year off slowly with 3 straight losses at CCBC, Catonsville, Harcum, and Suffolk County. But since then, really have been finding their stride. This is the second to last regular season game of the year for the Vikings. In fact, they will finish out their regular season tomorrow at Frederick as part of a doubleheader swing through Maryland. for the Dragons. They've got 2 left after this game. It's going to be a very, very important game at Anne Arundel on Tuesday, October 10th, in a game that will have major playoff seeding implications. As Estrada gives that one away, it's going to be a fast break for Kita Yamaguchi, and a tackle from behind. Referee says play on, as he said that he went down too easily and still waiting for the player to get up. Play will continue. Ruiz will just put his boot through that ball and switches the field. Dragons still fighting to stay in that top 8 as they are trying to ensure their playoff position. At the same time, another win on Tuesday, and they could find themselves all the way back up to 4th as they look to possibly host a quarterfinal game, as the top 4 seeds will host the quarterfinals, and the clock will be stopped as we have some equipment malfunction as the cleats of one of the Mercer County Vikings player split open, and he is now just taping it up to try to be able to continue on. That's why they tell you not to toe ball it, folks, as it's the toe of the shoe that's coming through. Howard playing a high line, 4 players putting on high pressure, and it will force a turnover. Good job by the Howard forward to put some energy into the game early. Ruiz flips up for more, but the offsides flag is up. But play will continue. The central referee will tell him just to continue. This is a Lou Gamby fighting for position. Foul is called, and now the Dragons will try to look to reset quickly, and now it will be Fuentes, the sophomore captain, who will slow things down and tell them to get set up in the box for a set play. Fuentes curls the ball to the top of the box, headed out. Ruiz, he's going to put his boot through it, but it's going to be blocked away. Estrada pokes away, but it could be the Vikings on the counterattack once more, as it was the goal scorer, Ramosa, who tried to play a through ball and just hit it a little bit too much of that, and it will go all the way into the hands of the sophomore goalkeeper, Danny Ventura. Simmons fighting with Ramosa for position, and ball goes out of the end line. It looks like it will be the first corner kick of the game going towards the visitors. It will be Ramosa to take the kick. Puts his left foot into it, as that's going to be headed on and into the net. And just like that, the Vikings make it 2-0. Somehow that ball made it all the way through to the back post. And it was Diego Escapita who was able to knot it home and make it 2-0 Mercer County. Mercer goal. Scored by number 3, Diego Alonso Ortiz Escapita. So with the Dragons perhaps in a little bit of a hangover game after having all of the emotion of coming back to beating a regional rival yesterday, perhaps the back-to-back games just slow them down a little bit. Meanwhile, Mercer County, a strong team in themselves, they've had nearly a week in between games and come in with fresh legs. Escapita, the freshman defensive back, his second goal of the season for the center back. And he's only got 3 shots on goal, now 4. So certainly a good percentage from him. Dangerous play will be called against Nazario, as he was swiping at it with his feet while laying on the ground. So this will be an indirect kick for the Dragons, just across the midway line. Fuentes puts that a little too central, and it will be scooped up by Gainati. As I mentioned before, the Dragons' last 2 regular season matches of the year will be on the road at Anne Arundel on Tuesday, and then they finish it up at Hagerstown on Thursday. That game does not count for regional standings, with Hagerstown being in a different division. So after that all-important game on Tuesday against Anne Arundel, we'll have a better idea of where the Dragons will be in the playoff picture. The top 4 seeds will host the quarterfinal games on Saturday, October 21st, before we have the men and women semifinals and final games right here on this field, hosted by Howard Community College. The women's semifinal games on October 25th, that's a Wednesday. The men's semifinals on Thursday, October 26th. And then the championship game on Saturday, October 28th. The winner of both of those games will find themselves headed to the national tournament in Arizona this year. Certainly a great place to be when you're talking about mid-November. Arizona, a welcome vacation for sure. Simmons gives that one away. Played over the top as Onabayi keen onto that one as he's able to cut it off. The Vikings will retreat to their own goalkeeper, as Gainati will take his time and check out the landscape, but then just plays it out. Not well struck by him, and now Howard looking to take advantage. Norton to Fuentes, finds Ruiz. Ruiz chips it in. Looking to the back post. Moore is going to be able to get to it, or not. He just was unable to keep that in. And Gainati was quite aggressive on that one. Came well out of his goal. Looking to try to force Moore out of the end line. Howard once again putting the high pressure on with the Vikings trying to play it out of their own zone. Fuentes, he hits through it. As both teams will look to make substitutions. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 16, Aiden Atang. And for the Vikings, number 12, Danny Turgo. So Aiden Atang will take over in the right attacking midfield spot for Howard, as Moore will go to the bench. Diallo looks across that one, and it's cleared out by Nazario. Also making his debut of the game is Danny Pergo of the Mercer Vikings. Pergo replacing Obala, and looks to be a straight swap. Headed on by Sissoko. Diallo was making the run just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. He'll flip it out quickly to Pergo. Playing the left back spot. Plays it forward for Gamby. Gamby, a heavy touch, gives it away. Good play by Sissoko. Howard looking to break through. Fuentes going to Atang in the corner. Atang is taken out. Referee doesn't make any decision, but the Vikings will just pick up the ball and throw it back in and just allows the referees to go with the decision that was made by the players themselves. Played through the middle. Shot looking to chip it over Danny Ventura. And it was Ramosa who nearly had to. Dragon defensive line caught napping for just a second there. And the speed of Ramosa nearly cost him once again. Headed straight up. It will finally come down and be settled down by Howard. Plays it for the corner. This is actually a good ball. Looking for a Tang. But Escapita able to hit it back to his own goalkeeper. Pergo. Plays it forward. Flick on header by Omalemo Matla. Turning the corner is Yamaguchi. And it's going to be out for a Howard goal kick. Dragons come into the game averaging 2.8 goals per game, as well as 19 shots per game, allowing their opponents only 12 shots per game, so certainly have an advantage throughout the year in creating opportunities. Chipped into the box, and Ventura able to get to it first. He'll roll it out quickly. Howard with a 7-8 record. Gotten out to a great start to the year, winning 3 of the first 4. And then caught a little bit of a tough stretch of late with 3 straight losses, all regional losses against Southern Maryland, Frederick, and Potomac State. As I mentioned, the bounce back game of the year, 6-1 over Northern Virginia yesterday. Ruiz tries to play it through the legs, but it will be picked up by Francesco Quintavilla. Played to the corner. Gambia is onside. He's going to trail Estrada on that one, as he'll be able to get the inside position. Good passing by the Dragons. Now they'll play it over the top. Norton, he's got wheels, heads it on, gets taken out. The referee has a decision to make, and no whistle is blown as Norton took shots from both sides, and no call made by the referee at all. Played over the top, and this will surely be offsides. Once again, the referee decides to just play it on. Has a bit of a reluctance to use his whistle so far in this game. That ball stayed in as Ramosa able to play through it. He'll cross it in, looking for the wide open Quintavilla. Gamby in the box, slide tackle, and Sissoko takes that one away cleanly. Sissoko, now that ball is taken away from him, played into the box. Simmons doesn't clear it far as it's going to stay at the end of the box, and that one is going to be called for a foul. And this is the tough part. If you don't blow your whistle early, then the players will see how far they can push their limits and start going into each other more and more. This is going to be just outside of the 18-yard box for the Dragons. Looks like it's lined up with the left post. Quintavaya standing over it along with Matla. It is too close to go over the wall and in with any kind of pace, so you have to imagine it's going to have to go around the wall one way or the other. Now it's going to be Yamaguchi that steps over it with the possibility of a right-footed shot. He does put it in, tries to go up and over, and as I mentioned, just not enough space to get back and under the crossbar. It will be out for a goal kick. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 14, Romeo Medrano. Dragons will get some fresh legs in as Romeo Medrano will replace Kaio Nabai. Another collision. Referee once again saying get up and keep playing. He's been consistent in letting them go so far in this game. You have to give him that as we are midway through this first half. And only 4 fouls called in the game, 2 on each side. Norton putting on the high pressure, and Vikings will go back to their goalkeeper and reset. Escapita. Back to his goalkeeper. Vikings content with taking their time. Now he's going to go long, and I believe Gambia's offsides. Yep. Was lined up perfectly with where we're sitting right now. And Gambia was protesting that one, but I have to say that it was the correct call. One of those great times where I can say that I've got the exact same angle of the referee. Estrada hits this one towards the top of the box, a nicely hit ball, but headed out by the Vikings. 3 heads by the Dragons into this Atang. Atang with the shot, saved by Gainati. Beautifully played team play by the Dragons as it was flick on header 3 times into the path of Atang, and he just could not get around the Viking goalkeeper. Gambi gets onto this. He's behind the Dragon defense. Dribbles into the box. Gambi plays it across, but Simmons read it well and was able to intercept it before it got to Yamaguchi. Pergo. Another slide tackle in the box by Sissoko, but able to get away with it as this one will be switched to the other side of the field. Howard with all 11 men behind the ball right now. Trying to push up and squeeze the space the Vikings can work with. And they succeed in doing so, since that will roll out for a Howard throw-in. Atang. Sissoko making a run through the middle of the field. They connect. Hard tackle, and Escapita is able to win that away. Long ball played towards the corner. Gambi, a willing runner once again, but it's going to be a strong play right by Medrano, who had just come into the game in the right back spot. Now those two are still going at it, and it's going to be a Howard throw-in. Norton trying to dribble his way out of pressure and gets a little help from Medrano. Good header back by Diallo to flick it back to his teammate, and Sissoko just a little bit too much on that one. Played forward to Hermosa. Able to get around his man into the corner. Herzog. Strong play. Hits it out and is able to keep it out of the end line, so it will be a throw-in, not a corner kick for the Vikings on the far side. Looks like the referees are actually changing the call. It's going to be deflected out. And somehow it's going to be a goal kick for the Dragons. It somehow went from a Vikings throw into a Dragons goal kick. Don't have an explanation for that one, but Howard does benefit. Herzog booms it forward, but unable to keep it in the field of play. Played over the top, looking for a tang once more. Good shielding play there by Dylan Dutoit. It's a weekend off for all of the Howard fall sports, but not so much for the spring sports as they get into their spring play starting this weekend. Men's lacrosse playing at McDaniel on Saturday before softball. A trio of games in their first games of fall ball playing at Wilson College in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania on Sunday the 8th. Certainly excited to get our first looks at what the spring teams will have to offer in just a few short months when their season begins. Furr plays through the middle to Hermosa. Turning with it is Nazario. Escapita. Looking to the corner for Pergo, and Madrano has to just head it out of play. Gamby backheels it, but Estrada there first. Gets to Diallo. He'll play it back, looking for Fuentes, but well read by Furr. Once again, Vikings doing a good job of switching the field and finding the open space. Howard continues to play defensively and try to keep their shape. Flick on header by Pergo. Once again, Estrada read it well and gets it out. Ruiz finds Diallo. Back to Ruiz, who's going to play it over the top for Norton. And again, just a little bit too much. Dragons continue to play these long balls down the middle, making it very easy for Gainati to just cut it out. Need to start looking more for balls towards the corner and off the sides to keep it away from the Mercer goalkeeper and give these forwards a chance to run onto it. Going to be the second offsides of the game against the Vikings. Matla goes wide to Pergo. Steps over the ball and trying to recover from the mistake and is able to do so. Played long and Ventura has to come way out. Gives it away though. Ventura is still going aggressively at it. Goal is still wide open. Ventura, third try, is able to scoop it away. Gamby will try the shot into the open net and it goes wide. A bold play by Danny Ventura, but in the end he keeps the ball out of his net. Entering the game for the Dragons, Samson Ogunliye. So Ogunliye will come into the game as it will be Hussein Diallo who gets his first break. Correction, it's going to be Diego Ruiz who comes out. Diallo will scamper back into the field. Ramosa continuing to be the problem for the Dragons. And it is going to be called a goal kick. And now Ventura on the ground on the goal line. But he will bounce right back up as the referee was coming in to check on him. As I mentioned before, Jesse Sanchez not here today as he is suffering through an illness. So it is going to be Bradley Fuentes who would be the backup. Howard putting high pressure on Gainati under a lot of pressure, just toe balls it out of play. Again, the Dragons showing a good job of forcing the high pressure, creating turnovers. Just need to find a way to convert those chances into goals. High kick in the air, and that is certainly going to be a dangerous kick against Escopitas. That was right next to the head of Diallo. And Howard now with a great chance for a set piece just outside the 18-yard box in the corner on the near side. Fuentes standing over it with his right foot. It's going to be a tough angle for a right-footed shot curling away from goal, so he'll probably look to cross it. He does. Headed away by the Vikings. Put back in by Norton. Simmons trying to get a touch on it. And the Vikings will look to counterattack. Quintavaya gets it up to Hermosa. Herzog is there, and he clears it out strongly. In fact, puts it right into the Vikings' bus in the parking lot. But at least you know it's not in play. Another good play by Herzog. Again, able to slow down the Vikings enough for his teammates to recover and help out. Played in. Pergo, heavy touch, and that's going to be out. It's going to be offsides nonetheless. Estrada hits it towards a Tang. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 25, Mateo Moore. So now it will be Diallo who goes to the bench. An illegal throw-in against the Dragons. Ogunliye lifted his feet up. Ramosa gets onto it. Herzog swinging a miss. Ramosa into the box. His shot blocked away. Jefferson Estrada, how important has he been in this game as he is there to clean up the mess, and it's going to be out for a Viking corner kick. It'll be Ramoso once again with his left foot, swinging it in. Cleared out by Howard. Pergo with time to look. Puts his left foot looking for the back post, and a goal kick will be given. I believe Hermosa was offsides in the play, but in the end, the goal kick will be the one that's called. Throw in by the Dragons. Fuentes plays it long. Atang is behind the defense. Tries to get a touch on it. He will get control. Fuentes. Played out towards Agunlier. Able to find Fuentes in the middle. He's going to try to direct traffic. And plays it towards the far side. Atang offsides. Hermosa. Trying to play it long. Ventura once again out of his box. Simmons. To Norton. Herzog. Fuentes to Simmons. Up to Norton. Howard showing some good passing right now. Moving the ball up the field slowly. And then gives it away. Herzog just too many touches on that one. As the Vikings will look to play quickly. And just a little bit too quickly as Motla goes over the top to nobody. 6.5 minutes left. Howard trailing 2-0. Pergo gives that one away. Moore looking to do a flick on touch around Escapita. Good battle between those two. And Escapita, strong play, but gives it to Medrano. Norton. Norton in control. Shot. Oh, man. Put a sting into that one. And it went just wide of the net. Had Gainati worried for a second as he went full out diving, trying to stop that one. In the end, couldn't put it on cage. Escapita. And a foul is called against Moore. I have to say, for a game where refs have been letting go a lot of contact, to have that little shove called is certainly questionable to say the least. Vikings trying to play out of their own end once again, able to do so, and now have some space to move forward. Looking at the long ball. And this time the flag was down as Yamaguchi was going through, but Ventura has been moving higher and higher off his line, knowing that these Vikings like to play the long balls through the middle. Hermosa gets it to Gamby. Gamby will turn and shoot, deflected away, and it will be a corner kick for the Vikings. Good job by the Howard defensive line, able to close on that one and block the shot away. the box. Ventura grabs it first time, but second ball looks like he may have injured himself again as the clock will be stopped. And Ventura will try to work it out. And the players are actually signaling to not bring the trainer on, as he may just be cramping a little bit.
Stay on the field, guys.
And Ventura, standing up, appears ready to continue.
All right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nah, it's a drop to the keeper. No. Nah, not here. Yeah.
Played out by Herzog. Norton has it taken away by Matla. Pergo asking his teammates, somebody make a run. It'll be Matla to switch the field. And successfully does so, as it's going to be into the run of Nazario. Nazario able to turn. Gets it back to Ramosa. He'll switch the field once more. Vikings doing a great job of going sideline to sideline. But Pergo unable to keep control more. Tries to play it around Quintavalla. And more backing away, accepting the blame on that foul and not arguing it whatsoever. Quintavalla plays it back in, going to the far side. Sissoko gets a touch on a forward, but it's going to be taken away by Detroit. Now, Dragons 2 versus 1 on that long ball. Tang plays it forward to Moore, and Moore just has it bounce off his leg. Was just too close to a Tang. So they didn't have good spacing at all there. Moore does recover. A Tang with the flick on header towards goal. What a cross by Jason Fuentes. Put it right on the dime. But a Tang has the header go wide of the net. Entering the game for the Vikings, number 25, Brian Kamiak. So Brian Kamiak will replace Matla on the sideline. The captain of these Vikings getting a hearty applause from his bench. Minute and a half left in this first half. Howard seeing if they can sneak one in before the halftime intermission. A good cross in by Fuentes. Just a little too close to goal and nobody making the run to try to get to the near post. Gennady rolls the ball out to Detroit. Another long ball played forward. Ramosa's onside. Ogunlie held him on the near side here, as he'll be played towards the middle. As a long shot taken by Kimiak. Took a slight deflection along the way, and it will go to Ventura. "35 seconds to play. One last try for the Dragons. Norton is able to dribble into the edge of the box. Pulls it back now. Might have a chance to shoot. He will try for the low shot. And it's going to be deflected away for a corner kick. 20 seconds left. Howard. the box. Oh, what a play! It was going towards goal, but Detroit able to head it away from his own net and able to keep a clean sheet in the first half. What a play, as the Dragons were that close to getting on the score sheet. An exciting first half of play, but it is the Mercer County Vikings who lead 2-0 as we take our 15-minute halftime intermission. We will be back after this. Halftime has concluded as both sides appear ready to get started for the second half, and we are underway once again here in Columbia, Maryland, as the Mercer County Vikings in their green uniforms have a 2-0 lead on the Dragons in their home whites. In sophomore day for the Dragons, the final home game of the regular season here at Howard Community College for the men's soccer team. The women will have their sophomore day on Tuesday, October 10th. As they take on the Garrett Lakers. Taking a quick look at the stats. 7 shots for the Vikings in the first half, 3 of which are on goal. 2 were in the goal as Danny Ventura made 1 save in that first half. For Howard, 4 shots, all of which were off goal. 3 fouls for the Vikings, 5 for the Dragons. 3 corner kicks for the visitors, Howard with just the 1. Sissoko able to keep this in on the near sideline. And that will be deflected off of Onabayi. First half goals by number 17, Lissetti Ramosa, and the headed corner kick by the center back, number 3, Diego Escapita, are the 2 goals in this game. Gamby runs way off the ball to shield it away from Sissoko. Thrown into Gamby, but he rolls over the ball, gives it away. Fuentes, 1 touch to Diallo. He's looking for a Tang. That's a great ball through. A Tang gets a touch on it, gets around the keeper, but it's going to be heavy. He'll try to kick it in to the net, but it's going to be cleared off of the line by Escapita. A Tang had the right idea. The first touch around the goalkeeper just a little bit too far away from goal and wasn't able to tap it into the empty net. Now a Tang will be called for the offsides. Great build-up by Howard. Fuentes and Diallo linked up nicely to find a Tang on the run. Perfectly weighted through ball. Sissoko. To Moore. And that will be played off of the Dragons. Thrown upfield and just cleared out by Estrada. Rainbow kick there as it's going to be played up. And a deflection is called, and it will go for the Dragons throw-in. Played forward. Looking for the run of Yamaguchi. Gets it to Gambi. Gambi shot saved by Ventura. He slid in and made himself big and able to just deflect the ball away. Best save of the game for Ventura. Keeps the score at 2-0. Ruiz to Diallo. Fuentes takes over as he tries to play it up. Misplayed by Dutoit. Moore goes in and a play on is given by the referee. Ramosa. And he will be tripped up by Sissoko, and we will stop the clock. And we will see the first card of the game by Boubacar Sissoko. As we've seen him slide in a few times. And referee certainly had no choice but to pull a card out on that one. As the third yellow card of the year for Sissoko. Played into the box towards Ventura. Ventura able to punch it away. A strong two-handed punch. And it will be out for a throw-in. Simmons plays out to Diallo. Fuentes looking for a tang. Played all the way back to Gainati. Ruiz to Moore. Moore is going to dribble into the corner, trying to take on one-on-one against Kimiak. Excuse me, that's Nazario. Sissoko will switch the field. Fuentes heads it on, looking for a tang. A tang gets a touch around the keeper's shot. Is going to be blocked away. That was Kimiak who was able to block it off his line. As it looked like a tang once again got around the goalkeeper and had a chance to put into the open net. But for the second time in this half, the Vikings defensive line helping out the goalkeeper, clearing it off the line. Anabai finds Moore. Ruiz makes a good turn on Kimiak. Played in by Fuentes, looking for Diallo as Diallo would go through the back of Dutoit, and a foul will be called. Estrada called for the trip, and he should be retreating quickly as Vikings could restart quickly. Another Dragon trying to come back from an injury as we will see the return of Blyden Elong, who had been missing a few games. Certainly a welcome member of the forward line to be back in for depth. Simmons plays that one into the path of Ramosa. Diallo. And a foul will be called behind the play as Diallo got stepped on trying to hit the long ball through. Estrada to take the free kick. Put some backspin into that one. This will be hit by the Vikings back towards their own goal, right on the edge of the 18-yard box. Fuentes will collect for the Dragons. Medrano gets around Kimiak. And a handball will be called, and now they'll be able to certainly be in a great spot for a set piece just off the far corner of the 18-yard box. Yamaguchi arguing about the handball card, excuse me. But we saw Fuentes play a ball similarly to this spot in the first half, where he chipped it to the back post. He'll go to the front post this time. Simmons is at the top of the box. His volleyed shot is going to go just over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. Entering the game for the Vikings, number 5, Noah Bauer. And number 23, Marcin Gnidzik. Entering for the Dragons, number 26, Blyden Elung. So Elung will now be able to go in for the Dragons and slides into the right back spot for the Vikings. It will be Bauer and Gnidzik taking over for Kamiak and Pergo. Played forward for Gambi, and he will be offsides. Simmons goes wide to Moore. Moore able to turn towards the sideline, keeps it in, gets pushed off of it, and that is going to be a foul on Nazario, as he clearly impeded the progress of Moore, who had gotten around him. Both sides arguing it, as the Vikings were saying it shouldn't have been a foul, the Howard side thinking it should be a yellow card. Fuentes able to swing this ball into the box. Hits it towards the top of the box. Simmons flick on header, and nobody there to follow it up. Played over the top once more. Ruiz is there. Elung had time to settle that down, but nobody told him. Howard tried to throw it back in, thinking that it was their possession, but it's actually going to go towards the Vikings. Played forward, and it's going to be offsides once again. This time it's going to be on Yamaguchi. The 5th offsides against the Vikings. And the Mercer coaching staff starting to get frustrated with the repeated mistakes of their players up front. Ventura plays this towards the middle of the field. Sissoko comes sliding through, and he could be in trouble here. He's already on a yellow card, and there's going to be some discussions to be had here. Sissoko already in the book, and the referee will just call a foul, and Sissoko on a very short leash now. Have to wonder if Coach Dragunov will pull him out of the game just to make sure he doesn't get a red. There will now be a discussion with him as the referee trying to say, I don't want to give you the red. Don't make any more fouls like that one. Nazario to take the free kick. Hits it low. One hops towards Venturas. He will chest it away. Ends up making the save, but it's going to be out for a corner kick. Quintavalla taking it. Goes towards Nazario on the edge. Has that blocked away. Onabayi trying to dribble out of pressure. It's going to give it up to Yamaguchi, and a deflected shot will go out for a corner kick. Curled in once again, and it's going to be Gamby who is going to get his head on it, and it goes wide of the net. Entering for the Dragons, number 15, Chris Herzog. So as expected, Bubakar Sissoko will come out of the game as Coach Dragunov just needs to protect his midfielder. Herzog will get some play in at midfield. Played towards Fuentes. Elung. Long forward, throwing forward, excuse me. Takes a deflection, stays in the corner. Fuentes gets to it. He'll go down. None of the referees were making any indication of calling a foul. Ramosa plays it forward for Gamby. Gamby's got speed, but Onabayi has some as well as he's able to play it backwards. And the referee not calling the pass back, despite the pleas of the Vikings. Strong tackle forward. Onabayi got to the ball first. Flick on, and that's going to be offsides against Yamaguchi once again. And the clock will be stopped. And looks like the referees will have a discussion on the far sideline. Typically is not good news for a player on the field. We'll see the center referee walking towards Escapita. And we'll just get a verbal warning from the referee, perhaps for some kind of dissension that the assistant referee on the far side heard. Play will continue with 27 minutes left in this second half. Fuentes hits it forward. Herzog picks up the second ball. Elung crosses it in. Headed away by Escapita. Headed right back in by Fuentes as it's going to pinball back and forth. Yamaguchi to Bauer. Taken away by Simmons, and he's got room to run forward. Simmons plays it forward for Moore, and he's going to keep moving forward. Moore goes into the box. Up against Detroit. Crosses in and headed away. Escapita. My goodness, what a game for him. He's done on both sides of the field. Strong defensive plays and was able to head a goal in the first half. Will be a corner kick for the Dragons. Fuentes taken on the near sideline. Hits the right-footed in-swinger low. Bouncing around the box. Onabayi with a volleyed shot, and it's going to go just wide. Made good contact as he was able to get his leg around and put his laces on the ball. Entering for the Vikings, number 11, Teddy Nkamani. So Teddy Nkamani will come in for Alou Gambi and immediately gets involved in the play as he plays up for Hermosa. His shot saved by Ventura. Dragons caught napping a little bit on the counterattack there. Ventura saves the day. As once again, Hermosa able to get behind the Howard defense. Play towards the top of the box. Ruiz clears it out. Moore gets a touch on it. Trying to get around Bauer, but a good shield job by Bauer. Ruiz can't get through Bauer. And a tackle by Onabayi called for a foul. Nazario. Head away by Ruiz. And a foul is called behind the play. Dragons look to counter. Simmons goes quickly. Plays up for Moore, who got turned around trying to find the ball. Coach Dragunov, in his 20th season at Howard, making some modifications to his lineup on the fly as Moore will go back to the right spot and big Blyden Elung goes forward. And a foul is called against Nkamani. Simmons. Detroit has it blocked away by Elung. Looking for Diallo and just out of his reach. I think Elung actually had room to dribble forward if he had seen the opening. Just was looking to play it forward to his teammate. Might have rather seen him try to take his man on one-on-one in that situation. Estrada. And it's just long balls back and forth right now. Mercer right now appears to be content with just holding on to this lead. Not showing the same ability to just play the short ball and keep possession. Dragons continue to try to play long balls over and over, needing to try to get over the top of this Mercer defense. Onabayi clipped on the foul. As Furr will get his verbal warning from the referee. Estrada plays it long, looking for Diallo. And once again, a Dragon just got turned around and backpedaled his way into it. Just not taking the best angles on their runs right now to see the ball coming in. Play towards Nkamani as Ventura hits it towards the middle of the field. Ruiz falls down on the play. No call is made. Bauer. One back by the Vikings. Ramosa is in once again, but a strong play. Chris Herzog just came out of nowhere for a second. It looked like Ramosa was for sure going to get in on goal. And Herzog just able to poke it away. Played into the box. And it's going to be headed wide by Escapita. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 20, J. Cole Oliveros. Bauer gets to it first, but gives it away. Simmons picks his head up, tries to play a long ball, but just sliced under it. Ends up working all right for the Dragons as it went into the path of a Tang. Simmons still beating himself up about it, but Howard does keep possession. Oliveros, who just came into the game. Now Simmons is able to switch the field, but read well by Nazario. And that is caught in bounds. Quintavaya showing his audition tape to play some goalkeeper for the team. Ruiz puts it high into the box, and a good job as Gainati shows what you're supposed to do when you actually have the gloves on your hands. Nazario. Ramosa. Stolen away by Onabai. Elung tries to lay it off for Fuentes, and referee said it was in bounds originally, but now it will be out after the kick. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 12, Ian Eldemeyer. So Ian Eldemeyer will come in for Fuentes, who sat down with a brief injury in order to get the substitution made. Going long towards the far side, Yamaguchi in towards his teammate, and Nkamiya just couldn't keep it under the bar. His volley sailed up on him and over the crossbar. Can see athletic director Mike Smelkinson getting involved in the ball running duties there as he was able to grab that and throw it over. He's an athletic director, he's a men's basketball coach, and apparently he's also a ball runner. What can't he do? Diallo fighting his way through, and the ball was out. And a great fight by Diallo will win possession for Howard. Played up. And the referee is calling a foul, and I don't think he saw the fact that the Vikings were on a fast break and took away an opportunity where he probably should have given advantage to the team. Referee looking like he smiled over an apology to the Viking sideline, not realizing that advantage certainly could be had there. Onabai. finds Medrano. Was looking for Eldemeyer, but just didn't get enough on that one. Played into and what a play. Ventura is able to slide forward, but he's out of his net. Shot into the open net is going to be high, but deflected out. And a great job by the Dragons to be able to avert disaster when it surely looked like it was not going to go their way. But Ventura got just enough on it on the fast break. And then the follow-up shot by Quintavaya over the net. Referees are saying it was deflected out, so it's going to be a corner kick for the Vikings. Left-footed in-swinger is going to hit low. Estrada plays it out. Elung trying to get control, going to hit back in by Yamaguchi, and Ventura able to dive on it. Punted out. Onabaye just tried to get a touch on that one. Given away. And played toward the corner, but the timing wasn't quite right as Yamaguchi, not wanting to get yelled at by his coaching staff again to be offsides, held up his run. Oliveros finds Medrano. Played up towards Hermosa, but taken by Herzog. Diallo back to Herzog. Still going forward with it, and hits a brick wall in the form of Dutoit, and then Elung stuck his foot out and is called for the foul. And the clock will be stopped as we have another wardrobe malfunction. This time a shoe has come all the way off, and the referee will give Dutoit a chance to get his equipment back in order. Oh, everything back in order as play will be restarted. .45 left in this second half. Howard still chasing a goal, and that will be out. And we'll allow a few more substitutions, including the debut of Tomas Lopez. Entering the game for the Dragons, number 22, Tomas Lopez. Entering for the Vikings, number 19, Bastian Strunk. Number 13, Marco Quezada. Herzog takes the long throw and bounces into the box as Diallo was trying to back into it and was halted in that progress. This is Bastian Strunk, who just came into the game. Finding Kamini. Gets around Simmons. He'll try a shot. Saved by Ventura. Able to cover his near side post as he got down and kicked it away. Ventura up to 5 saves in the game. 0 for his counterpart. power. And come to me into the middle, and again, kick save by Ventura. Offsides is called on the follow-up. Once again, Nkamani has had his chances in this second half in particular. Shut down by Ventura once again. Nkamani plays it in, hit shot by Yamaguchi. That's saved by Ventura. Nkamani on the follow-up, and that he finally gets the breakthrough. He had lots of chances and didn't miss on that one, as he was able to get the rebounded shot and put it in. It is now 3-0 Mercer. Mercer goal, scored by number 11, Teddy Nkamani. Played forward by Howard. Oliveros to Diallo, looking for the return ball. Oliveros will cross it in low, cleared out by Dutoit. And that will be out with Howard making the last touch. Play in the corner, and it's going to end up being a great shield job. Madrano. Herzog. Nkamani. Plays it forward. Looking for Strunk. Strunk gets around his man. He'll dribble into the box. Strunk plays it low, and Onabai has to clear it out. Entering in the game for the Vikings, number 20, Joa Loraceno. Number 21, Caleb Christmas. And number 18, Anthony Fajardo. Entering for the Dragons, number 25, Mateo Moore. So the Vikings clearing out their bench, as that was Torin Mitchell-Mehta who was able to play that out.
Lopez plays it towards Eldemeyer. Herzog chips it back. Eldemeyer finds the open space to Lopez. Elung going into the box. He's going to cross it. And Estrada was there at the top of the box. Just couldn't quite find him. Herzog will try again looking for Estrada. And this one will be kept in by the freshman versatile player who plays midfield, defense, whatever else he's needed. He'll chip that forward, looking for it, and it's going to be a Howard corner kick. Estrada will go to the far side corner to take it. Oliveros is hanging around looking for the short play and will be put into the box. Headed towards the top. Lopez couldn't get on the other end of it. Herzog might try his look here. He will. And that shot will go wide. Played short. Moore unable to keep it in on the far side. Played through the legs of Eldemeyer as Vikings playing keep away at the moment. Now they'll play over the top. Bauer onside, sees behind the defense, plays it across, sitting right there, shot into the top of the net and good. And that is Joa Lorenzo who puts it in for Lorenzo, his first goal of the season. Just his second shot of the year. And that will make it 4-0, Mercer County. Mercer County goal. Scoreboard number 20, Joa Lorenzo. Herzog will work his way forward. We've seen his long throw before, has plenty of strength to get this into the box. Elung looks like a proper target, and it certainly will go towards him. He'll flick it on, header towards the middle. Played towards the wide side as Oliveros gets it into Estrada. He'll be out for a Howard throw-in. Played in towards the box, and a strong play by Gainati. Able to scoop it out of the air. Thrown up towards Lorenzo. Lorenzo still going forward. Bauer is with him. Now he'll try to play it towards Bauer, and it will be kicked out. Moore able to settle it down and shielded off the ball by Escapita. Medrano. Fajardo. Bauer looking to try to get Lorenzo in once again. Quezada. As Strunk will play it back to his defensive line. Played wide towards Mitchell Metha. Quezada. Now we'll go over the top. And Ventura is able to slide through and get the ball away from the running Marcin Gnidzik. As a foul against Moore will be called. Bauer is in as he got behind the Howard defense, and that shot goes wide. Entering in the game, and now playing goal for the Vikings, number 30, Elias Ruano. So foul and a yellow card is given to Mercer County with just under 2 minutes left. Played in, and Ruano will get his first action quickly as he's able to scoop that away on the one hop. Onabai goes for the long ball, looking for more. As it's going to be Ruano coming way out, gets a touch on it, and gets the job done for his team. Quezada looking for Lorenzo, and he is offsides. And clock will be stopped on the delay of gamesmanship. Simmons puts the ball back in play. Quezada finds Strunk to Bauer. Bauer is behind the defense once again, but Herzog recovers well, gets around the man, and is able to take away that fast break chance. Howard, one last chance, trying to get forward. Oliveros finds Estrada. Looking for Eldemeyer on the backside, and it's going to be played back by Mitchell Metha, and Ruano clears it out. One last shot in is saved by Ruano, and that will do it. So the Dragons will fall to 7-9 on the season. With their final regular season game of the year. And a big thank you to those 5 sophomores who have given everything over the last 2 years at Howard. And hopefully we will see them back on this field for playoff time if the Dragons are able to advance. Mercer County, they improved to 7-5-2 on the year, and they will finish out their regular season at Frederick tomorrow before heading back to New Jersey. On behalf of everybody here at the Howard Community College Athletics Department, we thank you for tuning in today. We thank you for your support all year long and hope that you will be back for the Women's Sophomore Day on Tuesday, October 10th at 2 p.m. Final score here in Columbia, the Mercer County Vikings 4, the Howard Dragons 0.